Good afternoon and welcome to As Ide Hot right here on Active Citizens. My name is Sharon Atiku and I'm joined in the studio as always by Ifoma Oji, my co-host. Good afternoon. How are you doing, Sharon?
I don't know why, but I just feel maybe like shy this afternoon. I don't know.
What's making you shy? I don't know. Are they about to rapture? Are you about to rapture?
No.
What's making you shy?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
We can see. Thank you. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm very well. Always.
All right. Now we're going straight to the stories that we have for today. On one hand, Atiku Abubakar, the 2027 presidential candidate, has publicly pledged that the interest of the Yoruba will always occupy a topmost place. Now, he said this recently and it has gotten a lot of reactions online, but we're also going to move on to the next story. Now, on the other hand, a court has frozen all personal and business bank accounts of music star Kizz Daniel, reportedly as part of a demand that he pay over £200,000 for allegedly failing to honor a performance contract. His management is disputing the narrative, calling the claims malicious and untrue. Now, are these two stories entirely separate, or are we seeing a pattern of power class here? In another video we are going to look at, we are seeing where a pastor gathered his church members in South Africa and promised that they were going to be raptured 2 days back. Now, they went to a mountain top waiting to be raptured, and we are just going to see what transpired on that day. If rapture has taken place and we are not aware, we will find out shortly. Well, first off, let's start with the issue of the promise that Atiku Abubakar is making to the Yoruba. So he said that he married a Yoruba wife, so he is affiliated with the Yoruba people, and if elected, will have their interest at heart. Now, what does this mean? I will have your interest at heart. What do you think that means?
He's basically saying that once he becomes the president, that he'll focus on the Yoruba people. Forgetting the fact that we have 3 ethnic groups in Nigeria, the Hausa, the Hausa, the Igbo, and the Yoruba. So when he wins or he becomes president of Nigeria, he'll focus on
the Yoruba.
That is basically what it is. But yeah, let's talk about His Excellency, Mr. To-be President, or almost president, who have, vied for the presidential seat for, I think this 2025 should make it maybe like 2027 should make it 7th time that he's running.
Someone said that he should wait to the next generation.
Yeah, our daddy ran in 1993, ran in 2007, ran in 2011, ran in 2015, ran in 2019, ran in 2023, and now he's coming back 2027.
He for his consistency. He does not give up.
This time around, he is now saying, I am no longer going for, building the nation. I am going to have the interests of the Yorubas at heart. Coming from somebody that moves from one party to another, from APC to PDP to PDP, from PDP to APC to PDP again to ADC. Now, maybe tomorrow he can move to SDP.
Or NSPP.
Yes.
But you know that another funny thing about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is the fact that, now let me just pose it as a question, let me not make my conclusion, is the fact that because he felt like he married from the 3 major ethnic group of Nigeria, the Yoruba, the Igbo, the Hausa, he feels like he has unified Nigeria with his marital union. Now, do you buy that?
Unified Nigeria in his home.
In his home.
So he ended in his own home now. It didn't trickle to the other.
So you don't think that might affect his leadership?
Nothing. I'm not seeing anything. What I'm seeing here is somebody that is just kind of focused on one tribe. That is what majority of Nigerians will tell you. And he's campaigning for this tribe because he knows that, Yorubas have, number of persons they could stand as this thing for him in 2027. Maybe we've seen this today, this headline today. He knows what he's doing. Tomorrow he might come out and say, once you make me president, I will have the interest of the Igbos at heart. And then a day after tomorrow, he will, so that you will see that
he's everywhere.
He's everywhere. So you want to pose as I have the interest of everybody at heart, but Nigerians are not seeing it the same. Maybe he should come back in the year 2031. Maybe by that time, Nigeria could actually give him, you know, as he has vied for presidency for 6 times, 7 times now, we can actually give him, you know, customer loyalty card.
What's
and then
customer loyalty card?
When come on now, this thing where they say when you do give. Is it buy 4 and get 1 free? So by the time he buys again and then the 8th time, and mind you, I didn't remember to tell you. I forgot to tell you that in 2027, he's going to be 80 years old. So let's add that into our context.
You know, when you say things like this, when you come out in public to say things like this, I feel that they also forget the fact that they are not just other major ethnic groups now, there are other minority ethnic groups. Now, I wonder how other ethnic groups or people from other ethnic groups will feel after hearing things like, oh, I'm going to have the interests of the Yorubas at heart. Nigeria has battled with tribalism for the longest time, and you know, statements like this, it's just statements like this that further drive that divide, where you come out and make a certain region feel, oh, their needs are heard, their needs are going to be prioritized, and the rest you feel that they are not as important. But anyway, I don't know if our constitution or our democratic norms tolerate a candidate prioritizing one group over the others.
No, this is actually campaign. All these things are campaign.
I think it was supposed to be campaigning now.
It's campaign strategies. And you remember, I think it was INEC that came out to release the information that those political parties should stop, you know, campaigning until they release. Is this something like their calendar for before they start campaign? But you could see now, Nigeria is always a theater hall. Every single time will come is one thing or the other. Now we are seeing this one, like I told you before, somebody that switches, you know, parties like a Danfo driver in Lagos switches lanes. Okay, so I'm not even surprised. But all these things are just strategies. But I think at this point, if I should advise that man, I would tell him to, you know, act as a statesman. He has come of age.
Yes.
80 years by 2027
as president.
I know I understand your passion to sit on that this and that. I mean, if you don't sit there, you will not make it in life. You've already made it in life, sir. You understand? It is time for you to retire. Take a rest and let people with vibrant energy and blood run that position.
You know, I don't think, see, there are some ambitions that we see and we applaud. And we applaud the consistency of Abubakar's running for presidency. But if you really, we need to understand exactly, or he needs to come and explain to us exactly what is his motive, what is his vision. Is it to see the betterment of Nigeria, or is it to sit on that seat as the president of Nigeria? Because if it is for the betterment of Nigeria, there are so many ways that you can come in and help and just run the affairs of the state without being the president. We are seeing what Nyesom Wike is doing. He's not the president, but he's calling the shots. You as well can
calling the shots.
Yes,
negative.
He is. To be honest, but you can be on the positive side. You can be a political father, whereby you give out advice, you call people together. You when people are doing well, when politicians are getting wrong, you straighten them out and give out all of these advices where they're holding meetings. Even abroad, you can represent. I don't know if he has to be the president of Nigeria before he can effect change.
No, the thing there is that I think he wants to make sure that he sits on that throne, just to sit down, even if it's for a day. I don't want to use the word bye. Well, I mean, I've mentioned it. Even if it's just to sit on that throne a day, I don't think he is all about, you know, policy. I think it's all about, you know, vote for me. Let me just sit on that throne. Let me achieve this, my how many years ambition of sitting on that throne. Let me just and it is sad that this is what our leaders have resorted to.
They have reduced Nigeria's governance to
the fact
ambition.
that this man he's wealthy, when we talk about somebody being filthy rich, he is extremely, extremely wealthy. So you don't even need that seat to prove that Nigeria can be a better place. You don't need it. You already have the capacity. You already have the money, everything. Why don't you start from that place? Why don't you at least fight for the interest? Fight for the interest of your own people rather than focusing on the Yorubas.
No, you can't blame Atiku Abubakar. If your president said Emilokon, you can't blame Atiku.
Wait now. He's giving this vibe. You know, then when we were still young, you go to the village and one of your rich uncle will be like, I'm going to buy you clothes. And then at the end of Christmas, when everybody is going back, you now meet him, you now be like, my fire mellow. That is next time we'll see what we'll do for you. Gives that promise and fail. That is the same thing, because you don't really or literally have to be in a position to make Nigeria better.
Anyways, I just think that the situation that has plagued Nigeria has set precedents for situations like this as well, because if we have the current administration, when during the campaign, majority of what we're hearing was, oh, this is my turn, it is my turn, as though Nigeria is somebody you pass around, like it must touch everybody, national cake. It's as though Nigeria's governance is a business, transaction whereby everybody should have their national share of the cake, and it's not this. They're forgetting the fact that we're dealing with over 200 million people. Their lives, their future, the lives of their children are in your hands, literally. But now they've reduced governance to, oh, it's my turn, and I think I should. It's a personal ambition. I would say, if depending on his age, if he was way younger, I would think that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar wanted to put this in his CV. Maybe he wanted to make his CV look better, look rich. Yes, as former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But at this point, you are going to be really 80 very soon. I don't see where you are going to apply. You should be retired. In other countries, even in Nigeria, you should have retired.
Exactly.
And the reason why you are still burning this ambition, right? You know, there are some certain situations whereby, for instance, your parents would have desires or ambitions that they want to fulfill, but because of one reason or the other, they are not able to fulfill that. Now, what most of them do is to pass the torch to their kids so that they run with it. Now, if you are not able to be the president of Nigeria, nothing's spoiled. Nothing is bad. Yes, maybe you could have done better. Do we know? You can't tell. But I think what he should be doing now is setting his home right. Now, just putting things in order. Like, having a family is not just your biological family. You should have a political family, setting things right. You are running from PDP to APC when you should be involved in fixing things. This morning, we're talking about what is going on in PDP. And we know Atiku Abubakar has been, in the PDP for a while. These are people that I believe that if they should come out and speak out, they should be able to gain influence over people. But it's just really sad that this has gotten to this extent whereby it's now a personal political ambition for them. Anyways, we are going to watch out and see in 2027 if he becomes president and how exactly he wants to secure the interest of the Yoruba people. I say if. I said if. It's like for you people that are watching to use your PVCs and go and vote, whether you want him or not.
To focus on his own people and leave them alone.
All right. Well, that's why I said in 2027, who knows? Some people say a lot of things on social media and you go back and go and sleep. So with your PVCs, no. Anyways, we're going to move on to the next story. Now, this is a court case with Kizz Daniel. He was called to perform at a show in Berlin, but unfortunately, he did not appear. And because of that, he is now being fined. Not just the fact that he's been fined now, his bank accounts, both his personal, his business account, have been ordered to be closed down, right? And I read through the comments of this particular story, and a lot of people were saying that this is something that Kizz Daniel is always fond of doing, that he just prefers his self-con at home with his wife and releasing music. He really doesn't like to come out and appear publicly and all of that. And people have also said situations whereby they have given him paid him for a show and he did not appear and nothing was done about it. I just didn't know that this was happening, that a lot of people would come out to support this. My heart went out to him when I saw this particular news, but it seems that this has been a trend for Kizz Daniel. What do you think?
Okay, I think legally what this is literally saying here is that there was a breach of contract. I mean, a situation whereby they pay you for a certain thing and you don't deliver, and then you don't even provide any explanation or justification for that. As regards this, there is no justification. He will have to pay. But yeah, this, just like what the comments, people in the comments have been saying, that this has been consistent. Kizz Daniel have been consistent with this kind of controversy where he'll collect money and he doesn't show up. And it pains me that this whole thing rubs off on other artists. I mean, Nigerian musical or entertainment industry has gone internationally and globally, that it is going to rub on them. People will start seeing them as unreliable, and you can't,
I don't think it will rub off on them, because a lot of these artists have their own personal brands.
No, they have their personal brand, but when the stuff like this keeps on coming up, they will start losing contracts.
Except for the artist in question.
No, not
I
just
feel
for
like the artist in question would start, because if I am an artist and you call me for a job and I come out and I perform, somebody else is not coming out to perform, that's that person's business. It's not my business. Do you get, like, we are not in a record label. You have your record label, I have my record label. So maybe that's how you are trained your record label. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just don't think that this might affect other people if they have different characters. People also called out Davido for doing the same thing, but so far so good. Nobody has freezed any of his accounts, so we don't know the entirety of that story. But now his management, that's Kizz Daniel's management, came out to say that the narrative is false and exaggerated. Now, if this is true, what recourse does he have? How do you think he can fight back now?
If it's true, that is, if the allegations is true, yeah, if he's found guilty, is that what you're talking about?
No, if he's actually not found guilty.
Okay, if he's not found guilty, I believe he has PR. His PR manager should probably clear the air. Let the people know exactly what happened, that this didn't happen in the first place. But if it is not true, if it really happened that, he was paid and he never showed up, I think he should take responsibility for his actions, refund the money, you understand, apologize
publicly.
Yes, and then try to, bring back or regain his integrity, because he's losing his image.
He is. And then to other artists as well, some of these artists, because this is not about them, but there are some of the artists that we've heard, not just artists, right, public figures, even comedians. The other time we heard about I'm not going to mention his name, but the comedian that in blue shirts, where he was called for an event in the East, in Oko, if I'm not mistaken, and he did not appear, and he also didn't come out. We don't know the entirety of that story, but for people, for artists, public figures that offer services or are in the entertainment industry, your word should be your bond. It is very important. If you do it the first time, maybe something came up, health related, whatever, come out and clear the public. You shouldn't even let the organization or the event organizers get to your fan base before you do. I just think that public accountability is what we need, because when you release your songs, you don't release it to your family and friends, you release it to your fans outside. Now, in an equally funny video, now we are going to talk about religion quickly. In a very funny video that we saw in South Africa, a pastor told its members that rapture was going to happen days back, and they were going to be raptured. Now, we are going to look at that video, but in the video, you can see people coming with their husbands, with their wives, with their kids. They came with backpacks, and when they were ascending that mountain, they were so happy. They really, really, really believed that they were going to be raptured. But anyways, Ifoma, how brainwashed do you think religion has gotten most Christians to?
I think it's higher. The brainwashing is higher than when you use detergent. Is it no
hypo?
Yes, when you use hypo, it's much stronger than hypo because I cannot really fathom, you know, the number.
You're waving at God.
Look at the multitude.
Who are they waving at?
The multitude of people that are prepared for rapture, and some of them are carrying handbags. Yeah.
Some of them will be caught fresh. Some of them are rapture.
Every some of them they have money in their bags. They want to, you know, purchase
for
something.
transport.
Where when they get
we are not nice people. People that wanted to get raptured. It's really funny. I just think that it's really bizarre when we see things like this. In Africa, we have reduced religion to a money-making industry whereby people are now being used as, they are being seen as customers. Now, you are selling salvation. You are selling, now in this situation, rapture. What do you mean in this time? Wait, before we even analyze this further, who do we blame? How do we blame illiteracy? Or we blame them not reading their Bibles? Or we just maybe point our fingers to the sheer evil genius that are these pastors that are parading themselves now? Because how can you brainwash this number of people?
It is clearly illiteracy. Yes, we can't take away the fact that even those people that are literate, they still fall, you know, victims of this. Is clearly illiteracy. That's number one.
And sorry, this is the video showing now of when they were coming down from the mountain because rapture was postponed. So that's the video when they were coming down.
Yeah, I wanted to say something as regards this. It shows you how, you know, we have prioritized salvation rather than, you know, improving the lives of people or increasing productivity in the nation. Now let's take a look at US. Let's take a look at the people that colonized us. They are focused on developing their own country. You can never see them. There was a reverend father as at 2 years ago that I met, and he was telling me that he traveled out and people came for service that they didn't even stay up to 40 minutes. Yes, that once it's 30 minutes, you will see them, they will be leaving, the whites, they will be leaving. But these are the people that brought this religion to our land, and then we are carrying everything in our head. But to an extent, I don't actually blame people in Nigeria, because when you don't have job, you don't have a skill, I mean, you resort to going to church thinking that is miracle, it's God that will come and save you. Now the whites have understood that there is God, but at the same time, even the same Bible is telling us faith without work is dead. But the thing there is that they don't preach all these things in church. Rather, they preach miracles, they preach prosperity, signs and wonders in church. And we keep on, I don't know, like, Uditi, like, I don't really understand. You carry your child, carry your husband, as little as, I think I saw up to maybe 1 year, less than 1 year child. You're carrying to the mountain for what?
Under hot sun.
Which rapture?
You know, I think that
gullibility, it's alarming.
You know, we were talking the other day and we said that these early politicians have used poverty as a tool to enslave us. Now, it is not just politicians that have used this poverty as a tool now. It is also some religious leaders. Now, they have maximized and capitalized on that. That thing you said is so true. You come to church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because you are jobless. If we are being honest, you have a job you go to from morning till 5, from Monday to Friday, you won't have time for all of that. When you come to church, we are not in any way saying that you shouldn't worship your God or serve God, not at all. Now, it's the fact that we have replaced now productivity.
Exactly.
That's part of the Bible that says faith without work. Some religious leaders just remove it. Faith, just faith alone is what you need. But they said faith without work is dead. Now, what is happening here, what we are seeing here is the fact that, sorry to say this, but a lot of us are so lazy. Not just are we lazy, we are lazy in the mind. We are not thinking, what can we do? We are thinking, what can we get? The miracles we can get. Now, we are even trying to reap God. We are trying to bribe him so that he favors us, and we do not do anything for the rest of our lives. This does not mean that there are not people that are doing their best. They have gone to school, they have gotten all the skills possible, but still the system is against them. This one is not for you group. It's not for that group of people. This one is for people that don't have anything doing. You sit in church Monday to Friday. We might be laughing because when you read the Bible, we laugh at the things that happened at the Israelites. Oh, they were so stubborn, but we might be laughing at these people now. But you are the one that, I don't want to say what your pastor is telling you closer because that's your personal business. But tomorrow they'll still come and tell you that Jesus is going to appear on Mount Zion next week Tuesday, and you will rush. You will carry your children. You will carry your entire family members, because imagine. Okay, let's say that we believe now that rapture is going to happen tomorrow. Will you go alone? Won't you go with your family members? So what that means is that they came with their extended family members.
Do you know, there was one that I even saw that they said that the lady, she sold her land, her property, because she was going for the rapture. The rapture has been postponed. I wonder where she will sleep. Maybe she can continue living in the
things like this. The reverends now, or maybe because there are also men that do this. There are men that are so brainwashed by their pastors that don't care about their wives at home. Now, if you give this to your respective spouse, I wonder the type of sweet marriages we will have.
I tell you.
I wonder how this will change the stories that we hear about marriages today. I wonder how much divorce will reduce if we reverence our significant others the same way we reverence Daddy G.O., we reverence our pastors, the senior pastors. It's just really, it's amusing, and then it's also irritating when you see things like this, because see, this is not something that we tell you. If you cannot educate yourself, that's fine.
If I am to say something, I think even Peter Obi in one of his interviews was saying something about we working 24 hours, people working on shift, because I mean we are now prioritizing religion or worshiping God more than productivity. That we should be a nation that is focused on productivity rather than always seen in church 24/7. And that, I think that is quite apt. People should work
who has
on.
Ears, let them hear.
Let them hear.
If you don't hear, it's fine.
Let's do what we are.
Maybe you'll be raptured next week. People should tell me.
Yes, let's do what we are supposed to do as humans. When God see that you're making efforts to better your life and the life of your family, He would definitely bless and prosper you. He equally said that in the Bible.
We are not going to preach for you.
Yeah, but then again, thank you so much, Sharon, for doing this with me every single day. I missed you yesterday, like I said.
Yeah, you were not here.
Yes, I wasn't here, but I am here and I'm here to stay. And then to our most treasured treasure, thank you so much for always, coming and joining us. If you haven't commented, I don't know why you guys don't comment. We need to be seeing a lot of comments under our posts. Please go to our comment section and drop it. If you have, a particular topic that you want us to discuss on this table on Aside Hot, please drop it on the comment section. If you're yet to share, please kindly share all our videos. If you're yet to like, please keep liking. And if you've not followed us on all our social media platforms, please do right away. And you can find me on my private Facebook page at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Miss Solex.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Sharon Enemchuku.
Till we see you in the evening for Active Citizens Parliament. Do have a hot afternoon.
Period.